Good evening and welcome to Suffering in Silence with Evangelist Tia here on Love Bay Afrobeat Music Talk Radio. We're here with you every Friday evening at 7 p.m. Eastern. Love Bay, we are rising out of the ashes together. Our topic on this evening is making a shift, turning the page to get joy and happiness, joy and harmony in 2024. Our co-host on tonight is Erin Mitchell. Our guest, who should be joining us shortly, is Richard Noel. He is the author of Creating Joy and Harmony. Listeners, if you have any questions or comments for our guests or our co-host, you can email us at sufferinginsilencedv@gmail.com. You can also text your comments or questions to 437-778-3299. And also, if you have any resources that you would like to share with us on a national or local level from your country, your community, local organizations, or your faith community, you can also email us at sufferinginsilencedv@gmail.com. And with that, Erin, if you would take a moment and greet our listeners and viewers on tonight.
Yeah, thank you so much, Evangelist Tia, for having me. Welcome everyone listening on Love Bay Radio all over the world, all over the globe. So good to be with each and every one of you tonight. I always love these conversations because it's really always about taking our challenges and our problems and rising above them and having breakthroughs, rising out of the ashes. And we do that together through conversation, through sharing stories, through learning from each other. And it's just so good to be in this beautiful circle of courage and empowerment with each and every one of you listening. So thank you. Again, my name is Erin Mitchell, and I came into the circle of rising out of the ashes around my work through House of the Moon, which is a empowerment and self-defense training program for Native women across North America. And I met with Evangelist Tia years ago around this issue. And I am truly honored to have met with Evangelist Tia and the organization of Rising Out of the Ashes so that we can continue to address some of the most tragic situations that are happening all over the globe around domestic violence and around the rise of violence in our lives, and how we can each do our part, no matter what, whether we're in the middle of it, it's been in our past, or it might come up in the future. We each and every one of us has something to learn. We could also have a family member involved in one of these issues, and it's just so important that we come together on this. So thank you again for having me, and I look forward to tonight's conversation.
So thank you so much, Erin. As you were talking, one of the thoughts that came to me was conversation. And some people think or feel that they can't help, that they can't do anything because they don't have a platform or a large network. But I think you can do exactly what we're doing right now, which is have a conversation. So if it's listening and watching us and joining in on a conversation, if it's starting your own conversation, I think just taking that one step to open your mouth, to talk, whether you're talking to bring some education and awareness to the issue, if you're talking to bring some comfort and support to the issue, you can do that. You can talk. And it's not talking to tear anybody down. It's not for me to try to prove I know more than you, I'm better than you, I have experience, you don't. It's not that. It's like, let's just all come to the table and talk. And just to sit down at the table, we're all bringing a different experience. We're different cultures. We're different people. We think differently. And because we think differently, I believe we should be able to bring some solutions and some practical ideas that we can walk away with. So again, all that to say is, Love Bay, you can help. You can do something. You can talk. You can take the issue to where you are. You don't have to go and stretch yourself thin and try to do something that you weren't made to do. But in your circle, if it's 2 or 3 people, in your circle. If it's 40, 50 people, if it's larger than that, great. But wherever you are, start the conversation or continue the conversation and then put some action behind that. So we all can be a part of it. We really can. You know, Erin and I are just in different positions with what we do, but everybody can do something. It's not beyond you. It's really not. And you do not have to be a victim or a survivor to want to step in and help and add to the conversation. You can be a mature, healthy adult who sees this is an issue and we need to step in and do something. So I just wanted to throw that in there, and thank you so much, Erin, for bringing that up. And as we move into our conversation, we want to start with sharing some resources. Again, you know, as Erin mentioned, our nonprofit is Rise Out of the Ashes Inc. If you would like to support us, you can go to GoFundMe. You can look for our nonprofit Rise Out of the Ashes Inc. and you can donate to us that way. If you'd like to write a check, you can write a check to Rise Out of the Ashes Inc. Our address is P.O. Box 15, Drexel Hill, PA 19026. And again, one of our endeavors, I would say maybe even our biggest endeavor, is providing immediate and emergency funding to victims and survivors of domestic violence. And that includes things such as relocations, helping with doctor visits, transportation, food and clothing, medical supplies, helping with utilities. That's, I think, the biggest thing that we do. So if you would like to support us, great, to help us do what we do so we can keep doing that. You can also visit, if you are ready for this step in your healing process, Pastor Darius Daniels. He's the pastor of Change Church. His website is dariusdaniels.com. His YouTube channel is Darius Daniels TV. In the United States, we have the National Domestic Violence Hotline. Their website is thehotline.org, and their phone number is 1-800-799-7233. The National Helpline for Substance Abuse, Mental Health Services, their number is 800-662-4357. We have the Asia Foundation. Their website is asiafoundation.org. And then in Canada, we have the Canadian Women's Foundation. Their website is canadianwomen.org. And their number is 1-866-293-4483. And then lastly, we have the Befrienders Volunteer Action to Prevent Suicide. To find a helpline by your country, you can visit their website, which is befrienders.org. And so now we're going to move into our topic on this evening. Richard has yet to join us, so we are going to proceed, and hopefully he will be okay with what we are about to do, because we're about to go into Richard's book.
I'm sure he'll love it.
I hope he does. Richard was with us previously on a program. We wanted him to come back in January, but we couldn't work that out. And this is the first that we were able to get him to come back. So one of the first things that we want to say tonight is that it's never too late to start. Your new year doesn't have to go by the calendar from January to December. Your new year can start when you are ready for it to start. If your new year did start on January 1, and you want to start again on June 7th, then we can do that right now.
Yes. Amen. Yes.
Yes, we want to encourage you in that. Your joy, your harmony, your peace, you start when you're ready. You start when you want to. You start when it's ready for you. So you don't have to wait till January 1st to make a New Year's resolution. It is not too late and it is not too early. So just wanted to throw that out there. So, Erin, one of the first things that I wanted to do in Richard's book, and Left Bay, his book is Creating Joy and Harmony, Volume 1. And the author is Richard Noel. I believe that his book is available on Amazon. I have my copy, authored, signed, and everything. But Erin, I wanted to go to page 9, and I wanted to first share just the 2 points that he has here, because I just thought it was great. Mm-hmm. And, and you can throw your feedback in here.
Mm-hmm.
But the first point is live each day in such a way that you are truly maximizing your full potential and that you are bearing the fruits of your gift. The second point is live from your true essence and not the expectation that was put on you. I think those are two amazing points. And so let's talk about those first, Erin.
Yeah, I love talking about positive stuff. So, because there's plenty of the other going around.
Yes, yeah, and you know what? I think with what we deal with, because we're trying to encourage men and women who are dealing with domestic violence, and whatever level. We're trying to be encouraging and we're trying to be supportive. It's really easy to say that your life is just not over. But I think to give the words and put some context behind it, to put some feeling and theory behind it, I think that does make a difference. So you could be in the midst of a bad situation and you could be making it better, even starting with yourself, which is what you should do and what you need to do. You have to start within yourself. So the things around you may not look different. So, and even using myself as an example, I was in the house with my abuser. I wanted to leave, I couldn't leave. But within myself, I'd begun to make things better. I started reaching out for help. When it was time for me to go, I started making my plan. Much of it I had to keep inside. I talked to my counselors when I needed to and when I could. But I was making changes that other people couldn't see. But it was more important for me to know that. And it was more important for me to be doing what I needed to do for me. So just the very first point, live each day in such a way that you are truly maximizing your full potential and that you are bearing the fruits of your gift. I made decisions to do what I needed to do for me, and then I put action behind it, even though it didn't look like it, even though it didn't feel like it on the outside. So, hello, Richard, how are you?
Hey, I don't know how to apologize. I seriously, I am so, I don't know how to apologize because I have so much going on. And I
You're
just,
busy. You're busy.
eh?
We get it.
Well, and I just get this text and it's just, oh man, shame started to come upon me and say, no, let me definitely, you know, get on. I'm trying to get it on my headset so I could eliminate the outside noise.
Okay, but no problem. So what we did is we just dived right into your book. So right now we are on page 9, and so I'll just throw this to you, and then Erin, you can add if you want. Because I was just talking about the first 2 points that you have, so I want to go over them just again, and then you tell us why. You
All right, so
said
you can.
live. Yeah.
Mhm.
Live each day in such a way that you are truly maximizing your full potential and that you are bearing the fruits of your gift. And you also said, live from your true essence and not the expectation that was put on you. Why?
Very good question. The reason why, let's go to the first one. Every day, there's a saying, a quote, and that quote is in the book too. You live every day and you die once, and meaning that we are here on a journey. We are here on a journey. We are here to do the work that our God has designed us to do. So the minute we are not in our alignment with our assignment, we are truly not being our full self. I mean, if you look at creation and you look at everything that is around us, it serves its purpose. All right, and there's a number of names and things we could call. And as human beings, it's really important for us to really be focused and to focus on living your life each day, as you maximize your potential. So each day you live, it's a great opportunity to learn. It's a great opportunity to really, get rid or purge yourself from the things that is not serving you. We are here to inspire until we expire. So some of the things, there's certain things that expire in our life, certain mindset, certain things that get us there. What gets you there will not keep you there, and we have to continue to grow and evolve. So it's life really becomes really excited when you live every day, you know, in such a way that you are truly maximizing your potential. And what is really maximizing your potential? Being the best version of yourself. So if you think about it, one of the things that I just came back from Costa Rica and I was just sharing this with everybody, and that this was the whole highlight. You have to give yourself permission to have to live a joyful life. You have to give yourself permission to live life every day in such a way that you are maximizing your potential. So how could you give yourself permission? By not allowing the things of the external to really prevent you from doing that. Now, if things are from the external is prevent you from doing that, that means you give that whatsoever is permission. So we all have to give ourselves permission to live our life in such a way that we are truly maximizing our potential.
And so, and you said, live from your true essence and not the expectation that was put on you.
Right. So your essence is really, your essence is your inner world, your intuition. Intuition and your essence are truly one. And what is, that essence of life, that, the things that is your birthright, like, abundance is your birthright, prosperity is your way of life. But a lot of times we live our life based on the expectation of others and not from our true essence, our eternal being, and the things that we are, that is linked with your true potential and your true purpose and your true alignment. So when I live from my essence, as you want to, we all say something, you live from the guidance of the Holy Spirit, if you want to, in reference to a Holy Spirit intuition, but you live from the essence from your inner world and not from the expectation of others. So a lot of times, sometimes parents may want us to do something, or loved ones, but we have an assignment here, and it's all coming from our essence. So when we live like that, we are living our true self. We are living our true life. Like I'll say, for instance, in the past, I was an aeronautical engineer, and that was very good. It sounds good in conversation when people ask, "What do you do?" But I wasn't living from my essence after a while, and I had to transition to what I'm doing right now. So right now, I'm in my true place. I'm doing what I love, and I'm divinely prosperous because I am living from my true essence. I'm truly in my true place, and that's what I'm saying. Don't allow on this journey in life. Make sure that you are not allowing other people. You are living from their expectation that is not in alignment with your essence.
Awesome. So, Erin, I'll ask you to jump in with a question or comment now. But Richard, I do want to say, Erin and I, we did point out we did want you to be with us in January, and we couldn't work that out. And so, though it's June, Erin and I have already specifically said your joy, your harmony does not have to go by a calendar year. As a matter of fact, I would say it shouldn't go by a calendar year.
Hmm.
So we wanted to have this conversation in January, but it's okay that we're having this conversation in June. So you can maximize your life. You can live to your full potential. You can walk in your true essence today. Like every day can be a
Right.
new day for you. So I just wanted to throw that out there that, Erin and I touched on that because today is and can be a new day, for you.
Hmm. Absolutely. Thank you.
Yeah. It's a great reminder, right? Like every day is New Year's Day because we're alive if we're
Yes.
here. So,
I,
yeah.
but Aaron, you're totally correct. And life is a privilege, as I always say. So every morning we wake up, it's a privilege. It's a gift. It's a special occasion because so many people didn't wake up this morning. So we have to remember, well, as we know, the greatest thing is gratitude. The greatest energy you could connect with is gratitude because we have an opportunity to um, be the light that we're supposed to be and allow the divine to work in us, through us, and as us. So I know we as individuals have a lot of challenges. We all have. And some of the challenges really restrict us from truly focusing on not just evolving, but it have us revolving. So it's really to continue to evolve and not revolve, because I don't want to revolve. I mean, I don't want to revolve at all. Just every year go same thing, same. No, I want to evolve. When we all leave this planet, we say yes, well done. We have done our part, and in spite of the things that we had to navigate, we overcome it. So it's really it's inspire each and every one of us. So one of the things, and still sticking to your question here, one of the things is what that keeps me going as an individual is you always have something to look forward to. So what you're looking forward to inspires you. What you're not looking forward to devours you. So or worries you. So what every day when you wake up, what are you looking forward to? And that's one of the key things. I say, all right, I'm looking forward to doing this, doing that. Yes, and it really energizes my spirit, body, mind, and soul. So that's one of the things that could propel each and every one of us. We must look forward to doing something that is in alignment with our earthly assignment.
Yes.
Nice.
Erin?
Yeah, I was going to say about the living from your true essence and not the expectation. A lot of that for me comes from, yes, kind of looking forward and aiming to be that individual that's operating from my true essence. And in my life, I feel like I got there more from stripping away stuff than actually like adding stuff, if that makes sense. And so I just wanted to, Richard, if you just want to, comment on that, of like, because you're on that path and you wrote the book for people how to get on that path. Do you find that you have to strip away as much as, add different practices, add different ways of being? Do you have to, or how do you do it?
Well, let's look at the analogy. The word as you use stripping away. We could use the next word that a lot of people use in ceremonies, which we call purging, right? We must do that. So let's look at let's use an analogy like your phone. If you have certain app on your phone that you're not using, it actually slow the phone down. And when you remove those apps, or you remove, if you have photographs and videos that don't serve you anymore, the minute you delete them from whatsoever you know, the phone get back to its right place. It gets much faster, right? So it don't restrict it anymore. So let's look at us as human beings. Every day we are gathering negative energy, right? So one of the analogy I want to use, and I'm using this in my second book, is that every week we have to put our garbage out. Why is that? If we leave the garbage in the house, it's going to stink. So we put the garbage out. It's every whatsoever day of the week you put your garbage out. Why? Because you must do that. So we, as you mentioned, Aaron, we have to consistently every week purge, strip away. One of the best ways to do that is to forgive, let go. Because when you hold on to something that is emotional or physical baggage, it really affects you from really living from your true essence. It clogs it up. So we have to continue to reassure ourselves and reaffirm to ourselves within ourselves that who you desire to be. And one of the ways I do that is by consistently using I am, yes I am. So I some people fast, some people do fasting to strip away and to release stuff, and that's one of the things that we know. Um, as I mentioned to you, forgiveness, but it's a matter of not holding on to things that is truly your clogging you up, your pathway of that oneness, or that veil between your inner world and your outer world. So it's about really how can I release that? How can I let that go? And how can I live that life of equanimity? Because it will affect us if we have too much baggages in the way. So that's why it's good to really make sure that you are standing right with other people who may hurt you in the past, because if you hold on to that, it's just baggage that you're holding on to. So you got to find ways and means of emptying it out from your entire vessel. Does that answer the question?
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
No, no. Honestly speaking, sorry. Let me tell the most important thing. One of the most important thing, as you say, how do I do it? It's really essential to have an effective night and morning ritual. Right now, we use the word ritual. I know a lot of times people, when they hear ritual, all right. So let's reframe that. It's really great to have an effective night and morning ceremony or practice, regardless if it's
Mhm.
prayer, meditation, exercise, yoga, walking, whatever way. It's always good to really, to me, my night ritual is or routine is gratitude. It don't take long, but I'm just grateful for the things that I've accomplished, because I live every
Mhm.
day in such a way that you maximize in your potential. And then in the morning, I get up before the sunrise, and that's when I really connect. That's my time for download, and I do my prayer, I do my meditation, I do all the things that is going to allow me to be the best version of myself. So one of the great secrets, come back again, is control imagination with a well-established and controlled mood. So my thoughts must be in alignment with what I have to do during the course of the day. Right? My thoughts cannot be in alignment with the things that is not serving me properly. So these are some of the ways. I mean, all these things I'm sharing with you all, my ladies. I mean, so many people has left the planet and tell us it's effective, and it works, and I see it work. But
Mhm.
consistency is the key. So it's
Yes.
night and morning ritual is great.
So as you both were talking, Erin, you said first stripping away, and Richard, you said emptying out, and both of those phrases reminded me of setting boundaries and resetting boundaries if you need to. And I believe that's a part of walking in control of your life. And it's being honest, because you have to identify where you are. It's really nice and good and wonderful to say, I want to walk in joy and harmony. But first, why are you not? Like, I really believe you have to identify where you are, what's going on. Um, you want to have great communication skills, that's wonderful, but you have to acknowledge what's wrong with the way you're currently speaking. Do you not speak to people the right way? Are you harsh? Are you judgmental? Do you not think about what you say before words come out of your mouth? So, but I think before you start putting together a plan, I want joy, I want harmony, I want peace. You have to be honest about where you are, so you put the right plan together for yourself. But what I heard as you both were speaking, I heard setting boundaries, and it's good to set boundaries. It's good to go back and change. It's okay if you change them. It's okay if you go over your list and you say, this is working for me and I'm going to keep it this way. I believe it's really taking charge of yourself. And another line that I wanted to share from your book, Richard, is on page 10. And I think you've already talked about it, but this, it says, see yourself as you wish to see yourself. Conjure up the thoughts and feelings that will allow you to become what you wish to see. And my question with that, I wanted to ask you, how do you do this? Or what do you suggest? And I think you've already alluded to.
Yeah. Well, one of the greatest um, one of the greatest art that we have is, visualization, as you know.
Mm-hmm.
So you we have the opportunity. Remember, your inner world is a reflection of your outer world. So
Mm-hmm.
what is in your inner world, that's what you project. So if you see yourself, and this now, so a lot of times we get mixed up between this and the ego, right? But you're seeing if you how you see yourself. So people respond to how you see yourself. So if you see yourself as not worthy, If you see yourself as a goddess, people will see you as a goddess. If you see yourself not faithful, people will see you as that. So you have to see yourself. How do you want to see yourself? Vibrant, youthful, in such a way that you are light. So do you see yourself as a light that anywhere that you go, you glow or you flow, and you are really being that channel that the divine would like you to be? So I and we all have to see us like me. I have to see myself in that area of
Mhm.
abundance and prosperity. I always say abundance is my birthright, prosperity is my way of life. So they teach this is not just from a spiritual standpoint, but they teach athletes in
Yeah.
particular to see themselves with the medal or see themselves winning. I don't think God likes sports or anything like that, but
I think he does. I think God likes. I
no,
How
think
do you
God.
know? How do you
no.
know?
I think he loves football, and I think he loves
Sports.
NASCAR.
All right, all right, all right. So I'm saying is that because
Definitely rugby.
I, all right, I'm saying is that it have so much other people, right? We all right. So it's like you gotta see yourself. So when how you see yourself is how other people respond to you,
Hmm.
and
Mhm.
it's really important to visualize yourself before you leave or your home in the morning. I love to visualize. I'm reaching to my destination safe. I see that. I didn't see this in my morning. Like, I didn't visualize this, but you got to see yourself. So one of the best ways to see yourself is by going to the end of everything. All right,
Yeah.
what does that mean?
Mm.
Before I do any sessions, I always go to the end and see that here get comments. You'll hear people telling me, that this was a good session. This was great. Thank you so much. And it always works. So you have to see yourself in the way you or like to see yourself from that divine eye, not from the eye from hurt and pain, but see yourself
Right.
from the eye that is really in alignment with who you want to be.
Yeah.
And it definitely reveals that to you because remember you're dealing with so much things, and you some of the things, the negative things, it blocks us out from really letting our light shine. So I'm saying you must see yourself as you ought to be because how you see yourself is how others see you.
Yeah. And I do agree with that. And I think we have issues, and especially when you're dealing with trauma, when you're dealing with any kind of abuse, you have to deal with the self esteem and you have to deal with the confidence that has been broken. It's really hard to come back from that, but it is possible. And
It is
so,
possible.
yeah, it is absolutely possible. And so there may be times, there absolutely will be times, even if you're not dealing with abuse, you have to understand who your support is around you. Because there may be times when you may not see the superstar in the mirror, but then you have to reach out to your support group and then they can encourage you and they can tell you, no, yes, yes, you are beautiful. Yes, you are smart. Yes, you are going to succeed. So it really does take support because there are some days where you know what, I'm just not feeling it. I mean, I've had my moments. I call Erin and I'm like, this is not looking right.
All right, but Pastor, I want to share this with you, and I can't remember the scripture right now. But the key thing is, let the weak say I'm strong, right? Let the poor
Yeah.
say I'm rich, right?
Mhm.
This is when you had to go into your I am consciousness because there's times I don't feel it as well. And this is where I have to go into my I am consciousness and convince myself within myself about myself that and speak the opposite to reality to what I'm feeling to bring me back into that feeling. So if I'm not now, we are not lying, but if I'm not
Mhm.
feeling it to do something, if I'm not feeling well, I say, I speak the opposite. If I'm feeling fear, I am courageous. Yes, I am. And I will say that until I get back there. So, whatsoever, this is when we really got to get into that I am consciousness when we are not feeling it. Because remember, your issues affect your cellular tissues. And that is what get us
Yes.
sick. So we have to. This is when the I am consciousness. We gotta get into that role. The minute we are starting to pull away from that true essence, from what you desire for your day, get back into I am. And as I mentioned in the book, if you saying if you are not feeling strong, and you say I am strong, and your senses telling you you are lying, just go back to I'm about to be strong. I'm about to be strong. I'm about to be strong. Yes, I am. And so just use that word in the English language, about to bring yourself back to that state where you are back in your true essence.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is about encouraging yourself, and leaning on friends,
Yeah.
support when you
Mm-hmm.
need to. And it's not lying to yourself. We're not
Right.
talking about being in denial. We're talking about really encouraging yourself. And
Mm-hmm.
it takes practice. if
Mm-hmm.
if you are in a place where if you're dealing with low self-esteem, if you're dealing with broken confidence, that did not happen overnight, and it does not change overnight, but it
Mm-hmm.
takes practice to build yourself back up, and it can be done. Erin, you were going to say?
Yeah, I was going to just say, just for our listeners all over the globe that come from very different backgrounds, we have very different experiences, and Richard, was you were saying, the consciousness, and just encouraging everybody that to use the words that resonate with your highest self, and if it's I am about to feel peace, if I'm about to feel harmony, I'm about to feel love, I am love. I think we can all agree on that for sure, that we want to be more loving in to ourselves and to the people around us, and just to use whatever resonates with you and your life and your experience, that gets you, that transitions you, what the topic of tonight was, which was making the shift, turning the page. And how do you make that shift? And I think what Richard, what you're speaking to tonight, or just now, is in, specifically, is how to turn that page, and how you go from when, like what you said, Tia, not feeling it, right? What do we do? And so, yes, I love that practice. I am about to, because you're not trying to mess with your head, you're actually being super honest with yourself.
Yeah.
And you're also leaving the door open for possibility and the opportunity for you to step into that space where you're about to feel courageous. What if you're scared of something right now, and you're, terrified to face it? I am about to feel courageous is so much better than saying I am courageous, because you're like
Absolutely.
shaking in your boots for
Yeah.
something.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Excellent. Excellent. Thank you.
So I just what came to me was that so Left Bay, I don't think I talked to you all since then, but a couple of weeks ago I graduated with my bachelor's degree. So I finished my bachelor's.
Excellent.
Woohoo!
Congratulations.
So thank you very much. So Left Bay, you've been walking along this this road with me, but when I decided to go back to school, I not only saw my bachelor's, I saw my doctorate. And so I mapped out my plan, one step at a time. This is what I wanted to do. So though I was working towards the bachelor's, I already saw the master's. I already saw the doctorate. I still see it. So I'm not lying to myself. I'm encouraging myself. I really do believe I already have it. Like I already had
See
that
yourself. Yes.
yes,
Yeah.
for
Go to
myself.
the end. Right.
So love based, see yourself. You
Yeah.
can see it. You can do it. Even
Yeah.
again, dealing with the abusive marriage that I was in, I saw myself out of that house. Now I
Mm-hmm.
could not outwardly express it. I could not say that to individuals, but I had my plan within myself. I saw myself outside of that house, and I was doing what I needed to do to get out of it, and eventually I was. Now, and in that scenario, while I was doing that, I was scared. I was moving in fear, but I was still moving. With school, I wasn't fearful. I was excited, but I was still moving. So no matter how you feel, and we're not saying just push your feelings aside and ignore how you're feeling, but you still have to operate. You don't let fear keep you stuck, because then a year will go by, 2 years will go by, and you're still stuck in that same spot. By that same token, don't get so overjoyous and so wonderful in one spot that you feel like that's it. I hit my plateau. I can't go any further. Yes, you can.
Correct.
So, Richard, you wanna jump in there?
Yeah, you know what? Well, I'm happy. I'm happy you say that because it's all about we are here to inspire until we expire. All right. so, so it's, so it's constantly all right, but you do it with joy. But
Yeah.
as you were saying, remember how you feel is what you attract, and I mean that
Mhm.
will never change. So it's all about I see you can't fool yourself, but you have to feel, as I say, you have to feel satisfied, and you have to feel, are you satisfied? It come like if you eat and you're not satisfied, you'll go back for more. So are you satisfied with who you are you satisfied knowing that you can do more? Are you satisfied with how you treat yourself? Because how you treat yourself is just a reflection. So it's all have to come back with that, because the divine nature in us want the best for us. And one of the best ways, as you know, there's so much scriptures that mention count it all joy. So how could you count it all joy when sometimes things are not going the way you would like it to go, or if there's a death in the family, or if you just lose
Mhm.
your job, or if you just come out of the divorce, or how could you count that joy? But you have to get to that point and that feeling that really is in alignment with, we come back to what we start in the beginning, your
Yeah.
true essence. And you know what's your true essence? Like I say, I'm in my true place. I'm doing what I love. I'm divinely prosperous. You feel it. You feel whole. You feel really connected and not rejected. Whew.
Yes. Yeah, there is a different feeling that comes about when you get to that place. Not so much as people being happy for you or people being excited for you, but when you yourself, when you are at peace within yourself, when you are satisfied within yourself, there is a whole different demeanor that will come about from the inside. So, and
Hmm.
I resonate with that, with what you said, because it really is. It doesn't matter what's going on the outside. It doesn't matter who thinks what. When you reach that place, when you do tap into your true essence and you're moving forward, you will know it. You will know it, and it will be a great feeling that you want to hold on to and keep operating in.
As I mentioned to you before, for years gone by, when working in aviation and engineering, I thought that was my essence, but it was not until I really tap into my true essence now. So I encourage everyone who's listening to find do your best to really connect with your true essence. And I mean, if you don't understand the meaning of essence, look it up. It's really that true calling within you that is really desiring you to let that expression within you shine. Remember, it's all about our expression, and that's why I say you got to give yourself permission to allow that expression. If we don't give ourselves permission and make a promise to ourselves, it's really challenging to bring it out.
Yes. So, Richard, still sticking with the book.
Yeah.
I wanted to.
My phone have I see my phone have batteries 20%, but let's go. We could do it.
Oh, okay. All right. Love Babe, we have 15 minutes. So we're going to
All
get
right.
through this. All right. So, we love practical application. We love to
Yeah.
give our Love Babe family like steps to take. And so on page 29 of your book, you have some questions
Hmm.
for us to ask ourselves. I want to just mention two or three of these questions, and then,
Hmm.
really quick, if you could explain to us why it's important to answer these questions for ourselves, because anybody
Hmm.
else can step in, but it's
Hmm.
important for the answers to come to ourselves. So really quick, what are some of your daily activities that bring you happiness? Think about living in harmony with the universal law of abundance and prosperity. What does that look like? And then the last question I'll mention is, think of a mantra or activity to start your day in a positive mood. So Love Bay, these are just 3 questions that you can start with,
Hmm.
on your journey. But Richard, can you tell us why it's important to be able to answer those questions for ourselves?
Because it makes you responsible for your where you at, and it makes you responsible for where you are, and it brings forth solutions. So when you answer the question, you could amend your day-to-day life to get the results that you desire. So if within the questions, all the 3 questions, are you doing these things? So after the chapter, the questions is put there to give you that summary. These are some of the things that you need to to do or continue to do if you want the results that we talk about in the chapter. So it's really important for you to take the reader to take responsibility to answer these questions. Or and let's use this word that we normally use in court. Um, you have to cross-examine yourself. So in this is so cross-examine. So the question really, you cross-examine yourself and see where you are based on these questions. And are you doing these this ritual like the 3rd questions? Are you saying the mantras or the incantations that is necessary to put you in a mood, because your mood determines your attitude and your altitude. Your mood is linked to your life force energy. What mood you're in, that's what you stay in. So it's really good to answer these questions for you to take hold and responsibility, meaning that you have said, all right, I've read this chapter, and if I really want to devour and to live a life what is what is mentioned in this chapter, I need to be responsible to answer the question truthfully.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Erin, you got a question or comment you want to throw in there?
Sure. I really love so going through Richard's book, Creating Joy and Harmony. I and going through the process of those journaling questions, you really do start to, like Richard was saying, take responsibility for your choices, your actions, your day to day, and how you spend your time, how you prioritize your time, and when you answer those questions, you're actually coming around to what would work for you. And so I feel like in answering that, one of the things that I came up with from working with Richard's book was to ask myself 4 questions in at the new year, right? Because that's when. But now it's become more frequent because I find I have to come back and revisit this. And what am I proud of? Pride can be like an interesting word for people, so you can also use a synonym like, what am I pleased with about myself? And then this gets me to remember, like, okay, and this came from Richard's book, like answering these questions, right? So you might come up with some other process, but when I ask myself, what am I pleased with about myself? I am reminded, one, I get to find out sometimes I'm completely stuck. Like sometimes I'm like, I'm not pleased with anything. Oh, what's that about? Like, so you get a check in with where you're at, and then it starts to get better, right? Because then I get to acknowledge myself for what I'm doing, in my life, and who, things I'm doing for other people, what I'm proud of, what I'm happy about. The second one is, what am I grateful for? And I think that's in Richard's book as well. The third one is, what am I going to let go of? So that's like a continual process, like the taking the garbage out. And then the fourth one is, what is my intention, which also is in the book. Like, we have to put that intention forward. And so I just wanted to thank Richard for bringing out these questions and journaling prompts in the book, because that really helps. It helped me, and hopefully any of the listeners that get the book, to dive into your own process, so that, because it can feel overwhelming when we're not living in joy and harmony. Like, where do I start? And so this really can guide you into coming up with your own process as well.
Yeah.
Well, I want to. You said a real important word to Erin, is that you acknowledge yourself, and that's something we should really say before the end of the day, or before we go to bed. Depends on how you go to bed. You gotta acknowledge yourself for overcoming the things that come your way during the day.
Mm-hmm.
that didn't throw you off from your true essence. And we always have to acknowledge where we are, because it's such a challenge to really be consistent and be in alignment, and in spite of all the media bombardage from all the corrupt communication that comes our way. So it's really important to acknowledge yourself. I mean, you got to acknowledge yourself for getting your masters, and you know, just having the time and the consistency to do what you do. And same thing with Miss Aaron. We have to acknowledge ourselves for who we are, and we are reaching out to people who are desiring solutions for the lives that is not in accordance with how they want to live, and a life that's not joyful.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really good to, as you said, the word, acknowledge yourself,
Yes.
you know, for where you are and the things you are working on.
Mm-hmm. So I want to add to that, but before I do, Richard, I want to give you a moment to tell us where your book is available before your phone dies. Let us
My
know where we could get your book.
Well, I get the most sales on Amazon. It's available on Amazon. Greeting Joy and Harmony by Richard Noel. It's available on my website, jamtogrow.com. It's also available on Barnes and Noble's website. Um, Amazon is number one. I'm getting a lot of a lot of traffic on Amazon, which I really appreciate.
Okay.
And I want to truly thank you, ladies. I really, this touched my heart. I didn't prepare for some reason, uh, you know. But anyway, I'm here. That's a key thing.
Yeah, yes, and we will have you back again. We will do this again.
And I will definitely make sure that
Right.
it's there, and I wouldn't have to be. I'll be in my studio and not in the mall here.
So I want to just throw out one more point, and then I'll ask you to close us out with your following thoughts, but with your final thoughts. I'm sorry, but Erin, what you were saying about revisiting, asking yourself these questions again, I think that is the description of a mature and healthy person. When you can start off with your list, if you can journal, if you can ask yourself questions, if you can put your plan together, and then you can go back and, as Richard said, you can cross examine yourself and you can say, did I do what I wanted to do? Am I moving toward it? Am I making progress? Do I need to change anything? And be honest with yourself. I think that is a sign of maturity. That is a sign of growing in health within yourself. And that's a very good thing. So wherever you start, if you started January 1st, if you started today, and you
Hmm.
can go back and you can keep yourself in check, you can hold yourself accountable. That is a beautiful and a healthy thing to do. We do want to use our support circles, but you can't 100% depend on other people, because you do have to do work for yourself. Now, we all need friends, we all need that support to supplement, but they can't take the place of what you're supposed to
Hmm.
do for yourself. So, Erin, I just wanted to say
Absolutely.
I thought that was a great thing. The last thing that I wanted to say, Love Bay, is don't compare. Do not compare your joy, your harmony with someone else. You are you, whomever you are. Your story is your story. You are walking your walk. Don't look at other people and be disappointed. Don't look at other people and be happy. Don't look at other people and start drawing lines. It's about you. So that was the last thing that I wanted to say. Um, but we're just under the hour. So Richard and Erin, I would ask you both if you would just give Love Bay your final words on tonight of reaching joy and harmony in 2024. We can't hear you, Erin.
Yeah, I can hear.
I said, Richard, before your battery runs out, you go first.
Yes.
All right. So when you all right. So when you live in this, when you compare, you live in despair. So you got to put your divine energy in gear. Don't have no fear, and make sure that every day you are living a life of abundance and prosperity. You know, do your best, my beautiful people. Know that we are on a beautiful journey on this planet. I am so thankful that I came from a country that people come from all over the world. I grew up there. They come to have joy, and that's where I really grasp my essence of the importance of joy. People come to have joy for vacation, and they go back to their normal life of,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes chaos. And I say why it is, I don't believe joy is just for a vacation or
Mm-hmm.
just for Friday or Saturday. I believe joy is for every day, as the Bible says, count it all joy.
Yes.
So find that, all right. So what this and they keep come back. What do we do when you get that phone call, that text, that email, when you hear breaking news, when there's a death in the family? How could you still have joy? This is when we have to do our best to go into equanimity, do our best to, focus on our breath, go back, find tools and techniques, and that's when we could call the support group if you know that things are happening. And at the same time, you call the support group when they hang up. Continue to encourage yourself. As we say, continue to encourage yourself by going into that I am consciousness. But I have seen it. I have seen the joyful consciousness and staying in that mood of joy, how it helps the body. I'm not a doctor, but I have a lot of documents on this. I see when joy is contagious, and when you do your best to strive for joy, it I mean things evolve in such a beautiful way.
Yes.
So thank you all. Woo!
Thank you. And tell
Woo!
us really quick where you're from so we can connect with that part of Love Bay.
Oh, I'm from the Twin Island originally. I grew up on the Twin Island of Trinidad and Tobago, home of the steel drum calypso and the limbo. Woo!
Okay.
You're bringing it. You're bringing it. Joy and harmony.
Beautiful, beautiful. So, Erin, you want to close us out for tonight?
Yeah, I just want to say to our listeners, I mean, for me personally, and everybody's story is different. It really, all the best breakthroughs of turning the page for me have come from something within myself, but it's also when I'm asking the divine, asking love, asking God to support me in those breakthroughs and trusting that I have that powerful spirit supporting me to make those breakthroughs. But ultimately they're done with my consent. We have to be in charge of our lives, like Richard's talking about tonight, like Evangelist Tia is talking about tonight. And we have to invite that divine love into our life every single day, not just once a week or once a month or when we're at our lowest. Every single day we really have to invite that support in. And the biggest breakthroughs are when, for me, it's when I take responsibility for not everything, but for something that I can do today to make it better. So that is when my best breakthroughs come.
Awesome. Okay, Love Bay family, especially our, family over in Trinidad.
Yay!
To go get Creating Joy and Harmony by Richard Noel. You can get his book on Amazon. Now, Love Bay, you need to get your book because when he comes back, we're going to go through some more pages so we
I'll
can have
I'll
all
be
together.
I'll be more than ready.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much for
Thank you,
being
ladies.
here. Love Bay, if you want to catch up on previous episodes from our program, you can visit our YouTube channel, Suffering in Silence DV. Thank you so much for joining Suffering in Silence with Evangelist Tia here on Love Bay Afrobeat Music Talk Radio. We're here with you every Friday evening at 7 p.m. Eastern. And Love Bay, we want you to remember that we're rising out of the ashes together. Good evening.
Thank you.
Thank
All
you
right.
so much.